Hey there, Rednecks, Preppies, Redneck Preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great? Good. I didn't want to make this video, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want to be accused of clickbaiting a tragedy. However, I felt that discussing an incident which took place in a Hollywood set a few days ago would be an instructive thing when it came to firearms safety. In case you're unaware of what happened, Alec Baldwin, the cinematographer of his movie called Rust, her name is Halyna Hutchins, and director Joel Sousa were walking a scene through. And Alec Baldwin pulled the trigger on his prop gun, and it hit Halyna Hutchins in the abdomen, and passed through her, and it struck Joel Sousa behind her. Joel Sousa spent some time in hospital. He was released, but unfortunately Halyna Hutchins was killed. First of all, my condolences go to Halyna Hutchins' family. I'm sure that you're going through hell right now, and I am so sorry for your loss. I also want to say that I feel horrible for Alec Baldwin. He may have a reputation as a jerk. We may be diametrically opposed on political issues, particularly firearms rights, but I like to think he's not a monster, that he's a human being like the rest of us. He made a horrible mistake, and right now he's going through hell. So my thoughts and prayers go to him as well. There apparently has been a number of incidents on the set of that movie, particularly when it comes to firearms. There were apparently a couple of negligent discharges a few days prior to the incident that took Halyna Hutchins' life. There have been some safety concerns. The crew walked off the set, and blame is now being kind of ladled around as thick as gravy on bad ham. The prop master, he's getting some blame for not ensuring that a firearm had nothing but blanks or dummy rounds, whatever it may have called for in that scene. The assistant director has been blamed for giving the firearm to Alec Baldwin. The only person who seems to be escaping a lot of the blame, though, is Alec Baldwin himself, and that's probably understandable because he's going through hell right now. I mean, he killed someone. I can't imagine what it would feel like to be in that position. And I think people are kind of treating him, generously right now. However, the point of this video, however, isn't to treat him generously. The point of the video is to to put the share of the blame on him too. And I think actually he rates a majority of the blame, and I'll explain why. Being that he's anti-gun, he's probably not familiar with the 4 rules of firearm safety. Maybe it's something that's taught on set before you can, handle firearms. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet he doesn't know them, which is criminal considering that his job as an actor involves him handling firearms on a fairly regular basis. Now, if you're not familiar with the 4 rules of firearm safety, they're very simple. Number 1 is treat all firearms as if they're loaded. Number 2, never let the muzzle be pointed at anything that you're not going to be shooting at. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until your sights are lined up and you're ready to shoot. Number 4, always be sure of what your target is and what's behind that target. That's it. Now, knowing those 4 rules, what rules do you think Alec Baldwin broke during this incident? Right, all 4 of them. Alec Baldwin was handed a firearm. Whether or not it's loaded, not loaded, somebody is telling you it's loaded or not loaded, you got to make sure yourself. You got to look. Number 2, pointing the muzzle. He clearly had that firearm out and he had it pointed at someone. Halyna Hutchins. He had his finger on the trigger because he pulled the trigger. And 4, he was obviously not sure of his target because I don't think he meant to shoot Halyna Hutchins, but he did. all 4 rules. If Alec Baldwin had just followed even one of those rules, Halyna Hutchins would be alive today. If he had treated that firearm as if it was loaded, he wouldn't have had it out. If he had his finger off the trigger, the firearm wouldn't have went off. If he had that muzzle pointed away from people, no one would have been hit. And if he had known what the target was, obviously he wouldn't have been pointing it at a person. He broke all 4 rules. Just one. If he just followed just one of those rules, Halyna Hutchins would be alive today. Again, I don't think Alec Baldwin is evil. I think he made a horrible mistake, arguably a horrible series of mistakes, and other people on that set also contributed to those mistakes by having a firearm loaded with live ammunition, not checking it, giving it to an actor who maybe is not familiar with the 4 rules of safety, or if he was, disregarded them. Got a little too comfortable after decades of handling them. Thought he knew what he was doing. Whatever the case may be, Halyna Hutchins paid the price for that. So, this is a teachable moment for everyone. Whether you're a firearms owner, long time, brand new, whether you work with firearms, whatever the hell it may be, familiarize yourself with the 4 rules of gun safety. Follow them religiously. Because if you don't, you might be Alec Baldwin one day, staring down at Halyna Hutchins' body. And at that point, it's too late to remember the 4 rules of gun safety. It's a little too late then to say, oops. So please, make sure you follow those 4 rules. Sorry for the bit of a downer video, but I kind of felt that it was necessary to make it. If it saves one person from having an accident, then it was worth kind of being a bit of a Debbie Downer today. At any rate, have yourself a great day. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.